All right, welcome back. Today we're going to tear down the old ideas about wealth and build a new playbook, one that's inspired by the entrepreneur Eamon Godzi. This is all about getting away from just chasing a big number on paper. We're talking about building a life that doesn't just look rich, but actually feels rich, day in and day out.
And we are starting with this absolute bombshell of a quote. This one idea, it flips everything we've been taught about building wealth completely on its head. We're always told to chase huge company valuations, to build up our net worth. But what's the point? Seriously, what good is millions in equity if you can't even use it to pay for a flight to Miami? This right here is where our entire conversation really kicks off.
So this leads us to the very first, and honestly the most important principle of this whole thing. If you're in your 20s or 30s just getting started, your focus shouldn't be on some far-off abstract number. No, it should be on the one thing that powers literally everything else in your life, your cash flow. Okay, so what is cash flow, really? Let's just forget all the complicated financial jargon for a minute. It's actually super simple. It's the real, tangible, spendable money that hits your bank account every month, the money you can actually use. It's not some number tied up in a stock or a piece of property. It's the liquid cash that funds your life, your goals, everything. And here's the difference in the plainest terms possible. Net worth, that's theoretical wealth. It's on paper, and most of the time it's illiquid. It's stuck. You literally can't pay your rent with a 5% stake in a startup. But cash flow, that's practical. That's the money in your hand. It's liquid, it's real, and it's what gives you actual, real-world freedom. And this quote right here gets to the psychological side of it all. It's so important. Having that steady stream of cash coming in creates a feeling of security that a high net worth just can't touch. I mean, the source talks about friends who sold companies for millions, and they feel poor because that cash tap got turned off. It's the constant flow, you see, not the big stagnant pool of money that makes you feel abundant. Okay, so you're focusing on cash flow. Awesome. But now what? How do you manage it? Well, this isn't about being a penny pincher for the rest of your life. Not at all. It's about a smart, dynamic roadmap called the 70-30 spending curve. And the cool part is that it adapts as your income grows.
Now, this isn't some rigid one-size-fits-all rule. It's a curve, a journey. So in the beginning, yeah, you might need to spend 70% of your income just to live and get by, and you save the other 30%. But as your cash flow increases, you hit this amazing growth phase where you can literally flip that ratio. You start saving or investing 70% and living comfortably off just 30%. And then eventually, you could hit a phase of such abundance that you physically can't spend 30% anymore. You're living an incredible life, but it only costs you maybe 10 or 15% of what you're bringing in. So once your cash flow is solid and you've got that engine running, the game starts to change. This is where you move beyond just earning a paycheck and start climbing what we're calling the ladder of ownership. It's a total evolution from being just a player in the game to owning a piece of the entire game itself. So at level 1, you're the player. The best way to think about this is like you're a Formula 1 driver. You're the top-tier talent, the expert. You're earning good money directly because of your specific skills. You're in the race, you're competing, and you're really good at what you do. Then you graduate to level 2. Now you're the owner. You're not just the driver anymore, you own the entire F1 team. See the difference? You have leverage now. You're not just profiting from your own skills, but from the whole system you've built around you, the engineers, the marketing, the whole operation. And finally, if you keep climbing, you hit level 3. You own the infrastructure. This is the end game. You don't just own a team. You own a piece of Formula 1 itself. Maybe you own the television rights. Or to use another analogy, you own the steel that every single developer in the city needs to build their skyscrapers. You own a piece of the foundational system that the entire industry absolutely depends on. That's the ultimate power move. And here's the most crucial point about climbing this ladder. It's not just about making more money. It's about gaining influence and control. And in the long run, having that kind of strategic power, that kind of leverage, can be way more valuable than just having cash sitting in the bank. But this is where the playbook takes a really interesting, sharp turn. Because once you've nailed your cash flow, once you've started climbing that ladder of ownership, a completely new priority starts to emerge. And it's something that, honestly, a lot of people overlook until it's way too late. Think about it. Once you hit a certain financial point, and that number is different for everyone, maybe it's 100K a year, maybe it's 10 million, the motivation changes. The money stops being the main driver. Suddenly, the quality of your life is defined way less by what you're doing and almost entirely by who you're doing it with.
Let's be real for a second. No job, no business is perfect every single day. The source suggests that about 80% of any work is probably going to feel like a grind. It's tough, it's repetitive, it's just work. But, and this is a huge but, if you are with the right people, that other 20%, the moments of collaboration, the shared wins, the jokes, the camaraderie, that 20% makes the tough 80% worth it 10 times over. The people are what keep you in the game. And there's one final crucial note here, a little dose of humility. Success isn't just about having the perfect strategy. It's also about being prepared, having the cash, having the knowledge, when a lucky opportunity just falls into your lap. It's a mix of being in the right place at the right time, a little bit of luck, and what Imran Gadzi himself calls God's grace. So we come full circle, and it all boils down to this final equation. On one side, you've got the person who is paper rich. Yeah, they have a high net worth, but they're filled with psychological stress because all their wealth is trapped. It's illiquid, it's unusable. But on the other side, you have the person who is feeling rich. They're powered by high cash flow. And what does that give them? Psychological security and the genuine, actual freedom to live their life how they want to. And that leaves us with one last big question that I want you to really think about. Take a hard look at your current strategy, your goals, your daily habits. Are you just chasing a number on a spreadsheet? Or are you building an engine, a cash flow engine, that gives you real, tangible freedom every single day? The choice is yours.